Normally, when I'm up to something, I try to be real vague about it. I come out and I'm like, hey, I'm up to something. I'm working on something. I'll let you know when it works out. Today, we're going to take a break from that. And I'm just going to be very blunt with you because that's the sort of mood that I'm in. I need you to understand that we didn't get home from the hospital this morning until 9 a.m. And then the landlord came by and like changed the air filters and gave us a carbon monoxide detector and changed the batteries in the smoke detector, that kind of thing. It was unreasonably long small talk for no reason, and that held up my sleeping. When they finally left at about a quarter to one, it's like I really only had about an hour to really lay down. I hit snooze as much as I could, but I'm fucking exhausted. So I've decided that in my head, I'm too tired to do anything. I've already told Asia to cancel my doctor's appointment for tomorrow because I'm going to sleep. I've earned that. I'm going to sleep. So cancel my doctor's appointment. We'll reschedule it. It's still important that I see them, but I would just like to reschedule that because I'm fucking exhausted. It's 420, which I had forgotten about, and because there were deals, I went ahead and I picked up some things, and my plan was to just hold on to them until tomorrow, like we typically do, and then move right into our celebration. But after having a brief conversation with my son, I decided against that. So what I'm going to do, hold on, because we're talking about we take you off the charger and everything. Come on. See, I'm telling you, when we're taking a break from how we usually do things, I mean it. Like, this is some all new different shit. I'm looking around because I want to make sure there's nobody in the window. Like, I'm not looking to get fucking caught up with this shit. I'm gonna call my boss in about 30 minutes or so. I'm gonna tell him that I've got a family emergency that I've got to go deal with. I'm not gonna make it. I'll finish my shift. Don't worry. It's like there's nothing I can do about it right now. I'm not gonna abandon my post or anything, but I'm not gonna be able to make it in tomorrow. I've got to go out of town. I'm still debating on where I want to say I had to go because, see, here's the mark of a good liar. It has to be far enough away where there's no way I could possibly get back in time for my shift for tomorrow, but it has to be close enough where I'll be back in enough time to be here for my shift on Sunday. So I want to say Arizona, maybe, or Nevada. Maybe I won't even say. See, I think that's a thing too. Like, I was talking to Kari about it, and he was just like, look, the less descriptive you are, the better. And he's right. So I'm just going to say, hey, I've got a family emergency that I'm dealing with. I've got to go out of town. I know I'm not going to make it back in time for my shift tomorrow, sir. I'm sorry. I am, but I have to go deal with this. I'll stress again that I'll finish the rest of my shift. There's no need for you to try to replace me now. I'm not going to go running off the station. I'm going to finish the rest of my shift. But after this, I've got to I'm heading out of town to go deal with this. I probably won't be back until late Saturday night. So don't worry. I'll still be here in time for Sunday. That way, I'm vague, and you can't ask me what the family emergency is. And if he does, I have a variety of things that I can say that I had to deal with that doesn't require me to give you a doctor's note. For example, if I say, knock on wood, something happened to my mother. My mother had an accident, or my mother's in the hospital, or, my mother is sick. Just something. No job. You can't require me to bring in a doctor's note from my mom, But if I say she passed away or something, they might ask for a death certificate or an obituary or something about the funeral, and that I can't avoid. While we're on the subject, I think it's kind of fucked up that I'm willing to wish terrible things on my mom, and I'm not wishing. terrible things on her. I'm just making terrible insinuations about her so that I can not have to go to work. Like, but at the risk of sounding insensitive, who's it gonna hurt? Like, who loses out in this? Like, I like to think that if something were to happen to me, let's say I'm gone, I'm long since gone, I've been gone for years now, and nobody at Kari's job knows this. If Kari could use me to further his own life or to get something that he wanted or he needed at my expense, I'd be all for it. Like, I would be touched that even from beyond the grave, I was able to help him out with something, you know? So I like to think that my mother, who was a shifty ass motherfucker in her own right, would feel the same way. So that is the logic that I am basing this on, and that's my plan so far. I wish, well, I don't wish, I try to be careful about saying I wish, in a perfect world, I would be able to record said conversation and then play it for you here. But in order to do that, I'd have to be on my phone. And in order to talk to the guy I want to talk to, I'm looking at the schedule here. See, there's one guy who I refuse to talk to. He's like my big boss. But he won't be here until, actually, he's off yesterday and today. He'll be here tomorrow morning. But I don't want to talk to him. He won't be here until 8 a.m. The guy that I want to talk to is here until midnight. So at about 11:45, or like, no, it's like 10:30 now, something like that. If I call him in the next 15 minutes, he's still on duty, and the guy after him will come do midnights. But then the boss that I don't want to talk to will show up Friday morning. But if I clear it with him, he'll just talk to the big boss about it, and they'll be more concerned about covering the shift than what the hell is Harris up to, you know? I don't even think they'll think of it that way. I'll just say, there's a family emergency, I have to go, you know? It'll work. I mean, what's going to happen? They're going to fire me? Like, right now, I'm real good with money to the point that if I miss this day, it's not going to hurt. You know, nothing's going to hold up what we're doing. Like, I feel good about that. If I'm being honest, while we're here, I didn't mean to talk for 8 minutes, but while I'm here, I'm really starting to have some concerns about regional transit. Like, last Monday, they said a week, and tomorrow's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday. So in 3 days, it'll be 2 weeks, and I still haven't heard anything. And I'm a little concerned about that. Because I don't have a frame of reference of anybody else that I can talk to about it, I can't ask. Like, there's one other person who applied with me that I know of, who also interviewed with me, who also tested with me, who also did the live scan and fingerprinting with me. But I can't just call her up and say, hey, have you heard from them yet? Because one, I don't know her number, and two, I don't want to call my boss, because technically she would be my supervisor. I don't want to call her on the job about another job. So I have no way of knowing if it's just me or if something's, you know, kind of held up. The job's supposed to start on May 16th. So there's still plenty of time. Plenty of time to get everything they needed out of the way. Though I can't imagine that they found anything in my live scan that they didn't like. The only thing I can think of is that they contacted my previous employer, which is Downtown Sacramento Partnership. And, you know, they're not going to say anything negative about me, but I don't remember if I put I was fired or if I was laid off. I'm sure I put laid off, though. That's the kind of thing I would say. And if they ask, was he laid off? And they go, no, we fired him. That might be a holdup. I don't know. But we'll see. If nothing else, when the background check comes, they have to give me a copy of that. So they have to sit down with me and talk to me about it. All of this I could be worried for nothing. Because if you remember, a couple of months ago when I was waiting for this job, I was getting a little restless, and I was like, maybe it's not going to happen. You know, maybe they just went another direction. So let me be clear. If they go another direction, we'll be fine. I'll be a little disappointed, but I'll be fine. So, yeah, that's my mindset. That's where I am this evening. Your boy is up to no good again. You know, and it's so sad that I have to do this just to have a 2-day weekend. Like, seriously, I'll be off Friday, I'll be off Saturday, and then it's right back to work Sunday. It's not even like I'm getting like extra time. It's literally just 2 days off. So it is what it is. I just decided to just fuck it, balls out. Here's what I'm doing. Here's the plan. If my plan goes successfully, then you'll probably see some videos from me a little under the influence this evening. We'll see. We'll see.